Okay, so this is how you fill out the Target CPA calculator here. All right. So first things first is if it's in this light green cell here, if it's a light green color, this is edible. If it's in this baby blue or darker green, then do not touch that or else you will break the sheet. Okay. So what you're going to do here first is we're going to first start with average order value. You can fill this out a couple different ways. The absolute easiest way to fill it out is that you can go product by product. Okay. Or you can do average order value. So let's do two scenarios. If your average order value, or sorry, if your product of one product is $84.99, you're selling it at, and then you can simply do the cost of goods for that product. You can also, for this product that you're selling at $84.99, you might sell it at $79.99 and you might charge $5 for shipping, for example, right? So you can include your shipping costs inside of this price as well. But let's keep it simple. Let's just say that your average order value or your product cost for this product is going to be $84.99. And then your cost of goods is $24.99. You can also make this easier for you if you'd like to include your shipping and handling. But inside of here, I do like to include processing fees, shipping and handling, and then also potential refunds as well. Okay, so let's just say that the cost of goods sold for this product is actually $19.99, and then and to include shipping, refunds, right? This actually might take us up to like $8.99 here. All right. So this will have to be some calculations on yourself. Okay. So notice that I was actually editing the light green cells. Okay. What this would actually give us is the landed cost for your product that you have right here. It would give us our gross profit as well. Okay. So this is actually like our target CPA essentially. Then it would also give you your gross margins. And then it also gives you your break even return on ad spend. All right. So just a general rule of thumb, I love to get this break even return on ad spend below 1.4. Okay, I want to get it as close to 1.2 as possible. 1.5 is a good starting point, but I want to get it as low as possible. Obviously, your margins, so like your cost of goods, directly affect your break even ROAS, and then also the price point that you're selling also directly affects this break even return on ad spend. All right. However, this is the easiest way to do it, but at the same time, you might just have an already existing average order value that you want to go by. Okay. So you just go into the last 3 months of your Shopify store and you fill out how much your average order value is throughout the last 3 months. Let's just keep it simple. Let's say it's $84.99. And then to figure out your cost of goods sold, what you would have to do is go inside of Shopify, get your total cost of goods sold over the last 3 months. You divide that by your total sales over the last 3 months. You're going to get a percentage. You then multiply that percentage by your average order value, and then that's how you get your cost of goods sold. Okay. And then you do the same exact thing for your total cost of shipping and handling, your refunds, and also your processing fees. You then divide that by your total sales, and then you multiply that by your average order value. Okay. And then that's how you're going to go ahead and get this number. Okay. So that's the beginning part of this sheet. All right. And then how we can actually fill out this sheet is first off, we want to run some scenarios here. Okay. So this is the beginning part of the sheet. Now we go into the fun stuff. So light green cell means editable. So we can edit this cell right here. We actually want to get so now we want to start to look at our 3-month LTV. Okay. So in the first purchase, if they spent $84.99, in the next 3 months, what is our 3-month LTV? Okay. You can look this up inside of Triple Whale or whatever reporting metrics or reporting software that you actually use. Okay, so let's just say it actually goes up to, let's just do something really simple. Let's just say it actually is a small increase. So let's go to 85.49. Okay, so not too large at all, but let's just play with it. And then let's figure out that our target marketing efficiency ratio, or our target return on ad spend is going to be 3. Okay. And then that your starting ad budget, let's just start at $10,000. Okay. In your head, you can play with this to be either monthly, or you can do this as every 3 months. All right. So however you want to track this or think of this as, and I'll kind of explain that here soon. Okay. So this scenario then gets taken down to scenario number 1. All right. So if your target ROAS is going to be 3, so notice that this is going to change as I change this one. So like, let's just say if I put 3.5, this cell would change. Okay. So let's just go back and put 3.00. So if our target ROAS is 3, we spend $10,000. We have a gross profit margin of 66%. This means that we have generated $30,000 in revenue. Our total cost of goods and shipping and handling is $10.2K. And this means that our profit on day 1 is going to be $9,700, which is going to equal 33% margin. Our average order value is 85. Our customer acquisition cost is going to be $28.33. We're going to acquire 353 new customers. And then that 3-month customer value is $85.49, which we put in right here. Okay. So this actually means that our 3-month customer, 3-month LTV is actually $98.86. And day 1 is $97.71. Okay. So this just means that in 3 months, you make an extra just $107, basically $116.15. Okay. So it's not large at all. So just realize though, that the more that you increase this, okay. So like, let's just say if it was actually 99. Okay. So 99.00. Look at it, right? Your day 3, your month 3 profit goes up by almost $4,000, 3,700, 3,600. Okay. So that's why it's so important, obviously, recurring business inside of your business. All right. Let's actually go ahead, drop this back down to 85.49 just for the sake of this. Okay. And now we can run some different scenarios here. So scenario number 2, what if we had a 2 ROAS and we spent 15,000? Okay. We would actually have $4,700 in profit on day 1, $4,800 in profit on month 3. All right. What if we spent $15,000 at a 1.5 ROAS? We would have minus 172 on day 1 and minus 84.85 on month 3. Okay. So this is obviously not a great scenario, but also at the same time, your break-even return on ad spend is quite high. Okay. So what if we wanted to actually take this scenario number 1, where we had a target ROAS of 3, and let's just say we had a target ROAS of 3, but we actually spent, instead of spending 10,000, we spent actually 15,000. Okay. This means that we would actually get 14.6K in day 1 profit, which would then equal 14.8. Okay. So let's pause here. Let's get this 3-month customer value up to 99. Where does this put our day 3 profit? Closer to 20 grand, 19.5. Okay, so this would be an additional $5,000 of profit. Okay, it's an additional 5,000, not an additional 19.5. So it's an additional $5,000 inside of that 3 months, and of course that will exponentially grow. Okay, so at the same time, let's just say if we were to get a 5 ROAS, which is going to be a little bit more difficult unless you have some awesome email marketing campaigns going at the same time, super high conversion rates. What if we were to spend $5,000 on a 5 ROAS, right? So this is where it would be $11,000 day 1 profit, 11.5 on month 3. All right. So it's obviously super important. This is just on essentially what we're looking at is just on the top of the funnel when it comes to ads. Of course, you have so many different retention strategies, like when it comes to SMS and email marketing at the same time. All right. So the last thing I want to say is just adjusting this ad spend, right? So if we're looking at this ad spend, we're talking about 10 grand. What if we were actually spend 30,000? Okay. If we were to spend 30,000 out of 3 ROAS, you get $29,000 day 1 profit, 29.66. Let's go ahead and make this 99. Okay. So $29,000 day 1 profit, $39,000 month 3 profit. Okay. And then you can also play with this. Like you can also do a longer time frame if you want, if you wanted to do 12 months. Okay. So let's just actually pretend that this is a 12-month LTV. And then let's just say in some time of the year, you do like a large upsell to your clients where You might upsell them on like a $750 product, for example. Okay, so if you were to spend 30 grand to acquire 30 grand on ads to acquire them, okay, out of 3 ROAS, $90,000 in revenue, day one profit, 29,000. Within those 12 months, you upsell them $750. Right now, look at your gross profit, or sorry, your 3-month LTV. Your 3-month LTV shoots all the way up, 493,000. Right. So it depends on what business model you're actually operating in. All right. So I kept it super simple for this. This is an awesome tool. Let me know how you like this video and how you like to use it. Definitely use it to your advantage. Let me know if you have any questions. I absolutely love playing with these scenarios inside of this calculator here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.